So thank you for entering the live. Now I'm streaming on both, and we're talking about shadow work. And we're covering the fact that ego is not bad. Your ego is not inherently bad. There's nothing wrong with the ego. An unhealthy ego can run amok within your life, though, right? The ego is not bad. What you want to do is refine your ego. You want to tailor your ego. You want to allow your ego to help you carry out your life purpose and manifest the life of your desires, right? Your ego is a tool. Your ego is a tool, and it's up to you to refine this tool. One of the best methods in refining the ego, the thing that you leverage your ego to cause results in this reality. The thing that you do to refine that is what we call shadow work. We call this shadow work. Shadow work is integrating different parts of your personality that you do not identify with into your ego. Your ego is what you identify as. Who you are is in the middle. That's your personality. And on the other side, you have your shadow. Your ego is what you identify with, though. And you can identify with things that are not inside of your personality. You can identify with the sports team. You can identify with the clothing, with fashion. You can identify with so many things. And those things will be a part of your ego. On the other side, in the middle, you have your personality. That's who you truly are. That's your actual makeup. And that's just you. And on the other side, your shadow is the parts of you that are you, right? It's still you. It's just that you don't identify with it. That would, and oftentimes like emotions that we don't desire and characteristics that we don't desire, like pettiness, envy, jealousy, that becomes a part of our shadow because we don't identify with those things because it's not a part of our ego. Our ego says, I am this person. I am this healthy person. I don't have these issues. I am this spiritual being, blah, 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 that doesn't interact with pettiness. In real life, we react in pettiness in real life that we do. So we have to see like, oh, okay, I do this. I just don't identify with it. So that's part of my shadow. Doing shadow work is doing the work to look inwards to see what are these parts of ourselves that we aren't identifying with? What are these parts of ourselves that kind of got, that didn't get integrated too well within us? And then we get closer to the root of the problem, which is oftentimes trauma, something that happened at a younger age, right? So that's what shadow work is. That's what shadow work is. And so I'm gonna keep going about different topics and whatnot. I'm gonna continue on shadow work. But at any point of time, go ahead and ask a question because this is a spiritual Q&A. If you're watching me on TikTok, please double tap the screen. We're at 600 likes right now. Let's go ahead and make that journey to 3K likes. Just keep double tapping the screen with me as we're chilling and vibing. And at any point, like I said, at any point, go ahead and ask me questions. If I'm talking too fast, ask me to slow down. Someone G Star says, how do I get my girl back? Keep it real. What you do is you let go. You let go. And if it was meant to be with you, if your girl was meant to be with you, you guys will come back together after you both have like learned some lessons without each other. So how do you get your, and I would say like, I mean, there's lots of it, but I don't want to just say let it go. How about that? Because like maybe you could just talk it out. So maybe just try to talk it out. Try to talk it out with them. Have a conversation. Maybe couples therapy. All right, therapy is always a good suggestion. So going back into shadow work, what are some things that we can do to actually integrate our shadow side into ourselves, right? Just that, what if she got me blocked on everything? And that's an important detail right there. So if you're trying to get your girl back, but she has you blocked on everything, then you have to let her go. You should respect her boundaries and let her go. That's how you do that. And if it was meant to be, it'll come back to you, I promise you. If it was meant to be, it would. But the most important thing to do now is to separate and then put love into yourself because she blocked you. She doesn't want to be around you, and you should respect that. Great question. G Star Slump. He says, but you love her. No more conversation about this. We already covered it. No more conversation about this. I'm going to some other questions. Okay. Can you please explain how we identify our shadow selves? I may have missed that. Thank you. We're gonna get right into that. Thank you for bringing it back to the subject. My GF is touching my healing stones right now, and I haven't even energized them. What do you do? Converse with her. Talk to her. Like say like, hey, you're touching my healing stones. I would rather you not do that. Like legit, just tell her that. Set that boundary. Take your crystals. If you feel like, oh, you need to cleanse them, bury them underground for a day, and then pick them back up and work with them. The earth soil will cleanse them. Let's see. Gotcha. You guys are funny on TikTok. That's me. All right, so getting back to shadow work. So what are some things that we can do to start healing or to start analyzing our shadow side, right? What are some things that we can start doing to start like getting into shadow work? One of the best things is to take a subject within yourself, right? Like maybe an aspect of maybe is it jealousy? Do you need to work on your want to gossip to people? Do you want to work on like some mental health things? Like what do you want to work on? And then you can literally look up shadow work prompts. I have lists of them. I have a whole shadow work playlist here on TikTok, so you can watch that for content. But if you need more content, there's amazing content creators like coming out with all different type of shadow work prompts for different things. But that's the main tip I want to give you. Start journaling. Get out a journal and start doing some shadow work prompts. You can get a book on it. My girlfriend actually has a really great book on it. I need to do it myself. I need to start taking action within the book, so I can like say, oh, I'm doing this book. You guys should try it out. Let's see. But the other side of shadow work is therapy. Therapy is shadow work. Like getting an actual therapist and talking with them about these issues or these things that are going on in your life. Therapy is great because it's a great way for you to like, especially for black men. Well, I mean, therapy is good for everyone, right? Everyone should try therapy. But like having someone like listen to your emotions and validate them, priceless. Having someone to like listen to your emotions, validate them, help you sort them out, help you get to the root of the thing with an unbiased ear, priceless. Everyone should be doing therapy. Once you get the money for it, like once you're in the place to get it, go ahead and get therapy. But that's a great way to do shadow work. Another way of doing shadow work is is to start analyzing yourself when you're triggered, right? When you're triggered. Don't get triggered and start scrolling on your phone. Don't get triggered and call up someone to gossip. Don't get triggered and distract yourself. Get triggered, say, hey, oh my God, I'm triggered right now. And then look at your emotions and then see like, okay, well, I'm triggered because of this, right? Once I slow down, I thought I was triggered because of this. But now that I'm slowing down, I'm realizing it, I'm triggered because this reminds me of something that happened in the past. And that's why you get into shadow work. You start to go into that. But it's tricky because, it's something that you have to build. You have to build the skill of slowing down and analyzing your emotions. Well, like I said, it's easy to distract yourself. We're used to being triggered, anxious, and then we have an app we go to. We have some person we text that we hit up, and they don't help us out with our emotions. We just talk about some nonsense. We indulge into a sugary snack. We do something to excite ourselves and distract us from the emotion. So a great tip of shadow work, or a great way to start doing shadow work, is in the present moment. Do it when you're triggered. Slow down, right? Slow down. Take some deep breaths. Bring out your notepad. Maybe you need a separate notepad, because maybe if the notepad's in your phone, you're gonna scroll into a different app. I don't want you to do that. I want you to sit still and get with that emotion, and then write everything out. Maybe it's too much in the present moment. Like maybe it's too much to like actually go into it. Maybe the best you can do is just write out how you feel, right? Write out what happened, how it made you feel, and maybe just journal it out to yourself, and then later on you can sort it out. But either way, that's another aspect of shadow work. That's another way to get into doing shadow work, is to analyze your triggers like as soon as possible and slow down. Don't just like doing shadow work. If you're triggered, doing shadow work would be you actually slowing down and not continuing the routine, the habit, the cycle of you getting triggered and then distracting yourself. You literally just taking that emotion and then transmuting it there, and then saying like, okay, well, I know that my triggers make me want to do this. Let me channel that differently so I can do another different action. That also is shadow work, right? That's you looking at yourself while you're triggered, right? That's you looking at yourself while you're triggered and analyzing yourself. That is shadow work, right? Often the things that trigger us are things that are outside of our ego. They're things that are outside of our personality, or not just our personality, but the things that are outside of the things that we identify as. The things that trigger us very deeply are things that happen that contradict our ego, right? Our ego says that we're this type of person, but if there's a traumatic event that does something and that has an impression on you that really contradicts that part of your ego, then that's what makes it like, that's what sparks a lot of emotions that we don't want, right? So it's all inner reflection. It's all looking inward. So let me scroll up to see these questions. Like I said, at any point in time, ask any questions. I'll scroll up to answer them when I have the time to. Yes, you said, I am not. Ariana says, the best way to work through traumatic experience without avoiding them or burying them emotions. Yes, it's good. It's good to like just look at the emotions. Also, one must be honest with themselves. That's a good point. And also, the one I forgot to mention the main key. The main key to shadow work is to not judge yourself. The main key. You'll get so far within shadow work if you do not judge yourself. Right. Like I said, the reason is tricky. And thank you guys for the 3.8K likes. We're almost at 4K. We got past 3K, so that's a good milestone. Let's go ahead and get to 5K real quick. Just keep double tapping the screen so we can get to 5K. I thank you so much for double tapping and sending out the likes. What was I saying? What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying just before that. Are you able to instantly manifest anything you want? Is it possible to instantly manifest something? Yes, it is possible. But that's something that you would have to build. You'd have to build that skill up. Like manifestation is also a skill. Is my third eye open? The thing about the third eye, everyone's third eye is already open. When people say is your third eye open, what they're really saying is have you expanded your third eye to have, or your third eye or your brow chakra to have any experiences that people don't normally have, right? So that's what people often mean when they say your third eye open. But in general, everyone's third eye is open. Your third eye is open because you have the ability to imagine. That means your third eye is open. But you're asking me, do I experience phenomena that people don't often experience, like see, hear things? Yes. Hope that answers your question. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. I hope that like you get what I'm saying. With the third eye, like everyone's third eye is open, but yes, you can expand your third eye, and that's what people say. Like, oh, your third eye is open. It's like no, they just expanded their third eye. They expanded their scope of senses to then start sensing things that people don't normally sense, and that's what we say our third eye is open, right? That's a colloquialism, but and the actual factuality is your third eye is already open. The colloquialism says third eye is open when you expand your third eye. I hope that makes sense. Type in 777. Type in 777 in the chat if that makes sense. If you grasp what I'm saying. So should you still say open your third eye? Should you still say that? Yes, you can do that, right? It's cool because it's colloquialism. It's like slang, but it's just good to know the difference. It's good to know that your third eye is already open because it teaches you a lot about chakras. Like all your chakras are open. Let's see. Someone says, "Have I ever?" Have I ever astral projected? Yes. I think that's what you're typing. You said astounded. Yeah, I think you're trying to say astral projected. How did you know it? So I'm still going through the comments. How can you? Okay, someone says, how can you move on from a breakup with the help of the spiritual journey I've been in my thoughts? Like I always say, my number one advice for like a lot of mental health stuff is always going to be therapy. That's always going to be my number one advice. So aside from therapy, maybe do some journaling, still do shadow work as I'm suggesting. But one thing that may give you peace of mind is that knowing that when you break up with someone, when you guys split apart, there's levels of getting over them. And in the beginning, you miss them. You miss them. You miss them a lot. You miss them, not just who they are, but you also miss someone being in your life. You miss the space that they were taking up. So you miss them in so many different ways. But over time, you're going to start missing them in less ways or in different ways. And that's how you can track your growth. A big issue that people have is like, oh, when am I going to get over them? When I don't feel like I'm getting over them. In reality, slowly you are getting over them. You just don't know how to measure how you're getting over them. So you measure that by seeing like, how am I missing them? Am I missing them in the same way, and now am I just thinking about them a lot and I'm not really missing them the same way I used to miss them? That's how you can track it, right? Some things that you can do to help you get over them is to pour love into yourself, like regularly, like on a regular basis. Keep doing that. Keep pouring love onto yourself. Start some new hobbies, some new routines. Journal to yourself. Talk to yourself. Be sensual with yourself. Like sensual as in like just touch yourself. You don't have to like be sexual with it. You can just like legit just like touch yourself. Like give yourself a hug. Those things help people get through breakups. And just know that it gets better. It gets way better. I recently became recounting childhood memories. I've realized trauma blocked time frames. So yeah, I see what you're saying. So you're saying you're coming across childhood memories, and you're seeing that some of the trauma has blocked some memories out of your mind, and you're saying how can shadow work help to contribute within your finds? So shadow work is gonna help you analyze. Shadow work is gonna like I said, there's different forms of shadow work. There's so many different forms. So like you can imagine going to a therapist. Like that's always the number one recommendation. But going to a therapist, they're gonna help you like jot down some stuff. They're gonna help you. They're gonna help ask you the right questions to help you analyze yourself, and then that in turn can help you like look at your traumas and then look at how that's affecting you now. One of the best shadow work prompts that I give out that gives out a great amount of results for most people. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts. One shadow work prompt I always tell people is what are some existing traumas. From existing trauma, like I just say, tell them to list out some existing childhood traumas, right? List them out, and then see like which one of these childhood traumas do you now, as an adult, think was your fault, right? Which one of your childhood traumas do you think is your fault, right? And then once you get to it, you start to look at it like, wow, I was a kid. It was not my fault. Like I just like literally a kid, and I'm sure lots of people in this live. Lots of people watching this, doesn't matter if it's live or not. You have some childhood trauma that you think is your fault, and you created a small part of your personality based off of the fact that you thought that was your fault. In real life, your childhood trauma is not your fault. You were a kid. So it couldn't have been your fault. I mean, I can't like there's like a lot of nuances right there when you get into the technicality of fault. But the thing is, you were a kid. You could not rationalize. And oftentimes, it's the person that the guardian, the caretaker, it's their fault that you experienced that trauma. So, like, if you were a kid, yeah, don't judge yourself. But there's things that we as adults, we think, like, there's things that are holding us back now because we think some trauma at a young age was our fault. But once we start to realize, like, hey, that wasn't my fault, it starts to help to shed our ego to a degree. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much for the roses. But I hope what I'm saying makes sense. So you're saying how can shadow work help to contribute to your finds? It helps you to analyze like what really happened, and helps you to see like what parts of those traumatic events are still affecting me today, and do they even need to still be affecting me? Did they need to affect me back then? Right? It helps you to organize a lot. But still, if you have a more specific question, please ask it, because I can answer it more specifically after that. Someone says, JOQMZ5. Do I partake in ancient African spiritual practices? Yes. I can. I do Kemetic spiritual practices and Kemetic spiritual science for the most part. And some other stuff. I don't get too much into the to the closed practices. I don't want to make this a Q&A about my spiritual, but yes, to answer your question, yes. I love you too. Thank you. Like I said, thank you for the gifts. You say, why is it that when you're in water, you feel your connection to your thought process the strongest? There could be a lot of different reasons why. Water itself is high vibrational, right? Water and light are very high vibrational. It could have something to do with your mindset with the water. Like, water can be programmed, and you can program things subconsciously. So like you can program the water can affect you in that way. Water can legit just be water can be programmed, and you can program things subconsciously. So like you can program the water can affect you in that way. Water can legit just be like an element that you're more receptive of, that calms you down more. So like there's lots of reasons. There's lots of reasons that water could make you connect to your thought process. So I would just say maybe do some inner reflection, and those are some reasons that may be it, or there may be a reason that I didn't list. That's why you connect to that. So there's lots of variables. Someone says, "Am I talking about relative trauma?" Not necessarily. I'm just talking about trauma in general. I'm not too sure what when you asked that question, because I just scrolled to it late. So yeah, I don't know what you're talking. I don't know when you asked that. What crystals am I wearing? I have Columbianite, Herkimer Diamond. I got 2 Moldavites. I have another Moldavite in my hair. I have clear quartz. I have carnelian. The carnelian's a bust now. Let me show you. I love the carnelian. My brother made it. You got a dipped in copper vibe. And I got the sword. My brother made this as well. These are available on the website. The swords are available on the website. Go ahead and check that out. All right, and if you guys have not noticed, I have one of the best crystal shops here on the app. I have the best crystal shop that you've ever seen, most likely. So go ahead and check out my website. It has an amazing crystal jewelry. We still have some sales going on. We restocked on our bracelets, and we restocked on our 7 chakra bracelets, so we still have those. Oh, I didn't even mention the bracelets that I have on. I have a clear quartz bracelet. I have a howlite bracelet. I have 7 chakra bracelet. It's red jasper, orange quartz, or orange aventurine, you can call it. Tiger's eye, green aventurine, sodalite, amethyst, and clear quartz on it. The same thing on this wrist, the same type of bracelet. And then I have green moss agate, and then I have black obsidian. All right, so yeah, check out the website. Check out the website for the bracelets, for the necklaces. We have gold and silver necklaces as well. And yeah, just check that out. Right, that's a great way to get a certain level of connection with your spiritual practice. Setting your intention with the crystal, and then having that crystal carry out your intent throughout the day. Right. An awesome thing to do. As well, people always ask me, what's a good crystal for shadow work? What's a good crystal for shadow work? And I always tell them, like, I can't prescribe one crystal for shadow work, because shadow work is such a deep topic. And I would say it's more so you have to set your intentions. So you like shadow work. One thing you may notice is that shadow work, you're gonna look at a lot of parts of yourself that you haven't quite seen and that you don't really identify with, and that can cause you to judge yourself, and that can cause you to be more negative. So you may want to work with a crystal that helps you deal with negativity while you're doing shadow work. Right? You may want to deal with a black tourmaline or obsidian or an amethyst that can help you to like get rid of negative energy or help to manage that energy. Maybe you want to work with the amethyst because for shadow work for you, you need help remembering, right? You need help remembering. And thank you guys for following me. If you haven't followed me, go ahead and follow me. Follow me right now. I go live every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But maybe you need something to help you remember, because some parts of your trauma you don't quite remember. So maybe you want to work with a crystal that helps you strengthen your memory, and you want to program it to help you remember stuff. Maybe you want to have a crystal and you want to program it for discernment, so you can see what's good or bad. So you can see like how should you have navigated it back then. So when people ask me about like what crystal should you do for shadow work, I can give you a specific crystal and tell you to use it this way, but it's really all up to you. It's really all up to you how you should work with it. I mean, then you have to just make the judgment yourself. But my go-to, I would probably say like, yeah, work with a black crystal or a protective crystal, because shadow work, like I said, shadow work, you can start judging yourself, and you can start getting in a negative spiral if you look at yourself like, wow, I'm actually petty. Bro, I actually have low self-esteem. Oh my gosh, like that. And I'm laughing, but like in real life, when you're going through it and you're doing the shadow work, you may not find it funny. So like that's why I say work with the black crystal. But like I said, do what works for you. Do what works for you. Someone says, I want to buy crystals from you. Can I? Yes. The link's in my bio. So yeah, if you're trying to place an order for anything, the link's all in my bio. And you just check out my website and go from there. Wealthy Rising, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So aside from shadow work, before I move on to the topic, does anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions about shadow work? I'm going to be moving on to the 7 chakras. I'm going to do a quick rundown of the 7 chakras. Right, since I got the 7 chakra vibes on with the 7 chakra bracelets. Right, it's going to take a while. If you have any questions, it may take a while for the social media platform to show me, because there's a delay within the live feed and the comments. If you didn't know, if you're going live, if someone's going live, it takes them about a minute to see a comment, right? It's not an immediate showing of it. Do the crystals? That's a great question. You said, do the crystals have to be outside of the clothing to work? No. It just has to be near you. That's the only thing. The crystals work by being near you. Crystals, so people always ask like how do crystals work, like what's the thing behind it, and to put it in a very short context, and I'll go back into the 7 chakras after. To get into a very short context, crystals are one of the Earth's most molecularly stable things. Like crystals are stable to the molecule; they're very stable. That's why people get. That's why people like use crystals for like scientific stuff, like silicone quartz chips and stuff, because it's a very stable energy. It's a very stable. It's just very stable. And we are not our bodies. We are the energy that is in our body. We are also our aura. Like the part of that's us. We're not just physical. We are energy. If you were to have your body in one location and your consciousness in another location, and you had been separated from your body for 5 years, and you said, I'm never going to be a body again, you will stop identifying with that body, and you will only identify with consciousness, right? If you had your whole body in one location, and your hand was conscious, and all you were was just consciousness tied to a hand, you would identify with the hand. You would stop identifying with the body after a while. And that just shows you, like, what you identify with is not truly the body. It's actually your consciousness, your energy. And that's where it goes into. Crystals stabilize energy. We are not our bodies. We are the energy within our body. So when the crystal gets around you, it stabilizes your energy, which stabilizes you. That's the whole concept behind crystals. That's the whole thing about it. And you can go deeper into it with quantum physics and like how molecules structure and like proton, electron, neutron stuff. You can go deeper into that, but like that's the very surface level of how crystals work. And obviously I need to brush up on the quantum physics behind it as well. Should we always? Should that's a good question. Should we always be doing shadow work, or identify an issue and move forward? I think it's going to be all up to you, right? It's going to be all up to you how often you're doing shadow work. But you would have to do like what's manageable for you. But the thing is just to do it. So like if you're doing shadow work, maybe you want to go through a phase of your life where you're doing it every single day for 30 days. Maybe you want to buy a shadow work book and then go throughout the whole book. Like there's different ways. But do you need to be doing it like every day for your life? Not every day. But I would definitely suggest going through a period of your life where you're doing a lot of shadow work. Like going through a period of your life where you're like, okay, I'm going to set aside time every single day or every few days a week, and I'm going to start tackling these childhood issues, and then maybe I'll take a break and I'll start doing shadow work again next season or next year or something. That's how, but like I said, it's all up to you. I'm just giving you different variations in different ways that some ways may resonate with you more than others, but it's your choice. Like something like meditation, I advise meditation every single day. I advise mindfulness meditation every single day. And I should say, like I said before, shadow work comes in different areas. So like it comes in different forms. So like, yes, the shadow work I suggest every day would be like to do shadow work when you're triggered, right? Take advantage of that moment when you're actually triggered to look at your emotions and look at your raw emotions. That is shadow work. So like, should you be constantly doing it? Yes, in that sense, in the sense of you analyzing your triggers, slowing down, and those types of things. Yes, shadow work as often as you can. But when you're actually sitting still and journaling it out, or like doing therapy sessions, that's a different form of shadow work, and I think that may be more periodic, or you may want to do that all the time. It really depends on you. But I did want to make that clarification. Boy, JP in the building says, how much can you tell us about the Haitian Revolution, like true things? I'm not going to go deep into that. TikTok is hilarious. Oh boy, got my mods in the TikTok. Block them. Let's see. Someone asked, am I a therapist? I'm not a therapist. That's one thing. So I'm not a therapist. That's why I always suggest therapy. I always say therapy, like go get therapy. But me myself, I'm not a therapist. No, I'm a life coach, and I think it's very responsible to say like get therapy. I think that's the way to go about it, and I think that life coaching is not a substitute for therapy. Coaching is not a substitute for therapy. It's not the same thing. It's two different things. So I say everyone should try both of them, but I think therapy should be the priority. Life coaching is where you want to reach a certain goal within your life. You want to maintain a certain lifestyle, and you need like a coach to help coach you to get there. A therapist will help you get therapy and sort out your emotions to help you like get there by yourself. But yeah, coaching is completely different. I'm in therapy and I do spiritual work only for myself. That's good. That's good. And the thing is, spiritual work. And I'll get back into seven chakras in a second. Spiritual work. You don't have to do. You don't have to do spiritual work for other people, right? You don't have to like give readings or give your spiritual gifts out to other people. Is that something that maybe you want to do like aim to do that within your life? Yeah, that'd be a cool goal. But like if you're still doing your personal development, you don't need to worry about trying to like share your gift with the world. You want to share your gift with yourself to stable out your root chakra, to get you grounded and stuff, get your foundation going, and then you may want to expand on your gifts and start sharing that. Answer one more question. I'll get into these chakras. How do you know when you get your first awakening signs? I don't want to sound cliche, but you know when you know, like you'll just know when you know, and a funny part about it, an interesting part rather, is that you've been getting signs that you're awakening your entire life, and after you become more awakened, after you become more aware of things, then you will see what the signs meant before you were aware. So like through childhood, you've gotten all these different signs. And once you start awakening more whenever you expand into that, you realize like, oh, these were signs when I was younger. So like, I hope that answers your question. So and I hope that brings it back to the point. You kind of just know when you know. Yeah, I can't say, this is how you'll know, or you'll know it if these are the 3 ways you'll know. I can give you different routes so you can like find it out maybe, but yeah, to keep the answer short and concise, you'll know when you know. It's a knowingness. Ashe. So going into the 7 chakras really quickly. This is the time. Take a deep breath, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Find some relaxation where you're at. Relax your chest, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, relax your back. Take another deep breath, inhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Relax your stomach, relax your hips, relax your thighs, relax your legs. Relax your lower body, relax your upper body. Find some relaxation. Drop the hearts in the comments. It's time to put the hearts in the comments. Yes. Throw the hearts in the comments. On TikTok, on Instagram, wherever you're seeing this, if you're watching this on YouTube as a replay, drop in the comments. Drop the hearts in the comments. This is mandatory. I'm trying to drop the hearts myself. Give me 1 second. Amazing. Thank you. I see the wall of hearts. Thank you. So going into the 7 chakras. We're going to keep it brief. We have the root chakra at the very base. So the chakras lining up from lower to upper. At the very base, we have the root chakra. I'll show this bracelet as well. The root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart chakra, brow chakra, crown chakra. No, my bad. Throat chakra, brow chakra, crown chakra. So the root chakra. Thank you, JP. The root chakra is red. This is red jasper on the bracelet. The root chakra is red. Root chakra is more so getting you in touch with your feelings of safety and security, right? Your feelings like your resources will be met. The feelings that like you have mental stability, you have financial stability, you have some stability within your shelter, within your living standards. That's where your root chakra comes in more so. Right, I'm gonna keep it really brief. Your root chakra, the organs with it are your sex glands, your organelles, your kidneys, your okay, so it's mostly your adrenals and your anus. That's mostly what you're in your colon. But some other organs are your kidneys and your sex organs. I'm going up to the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is orange. And on the bracelet we have orange carnelian, or you can call it orange quartz. Not orange carnelian. I meant to say orange aventurine or orange quartz. You can call it whichever one. Same thing. But nevertheless, so the sacral chakra is dealing with your emotions, not just any emotion, but the emotions that you're feeling. There's 2 emotional chakras. Your heart chakra and your sacral chakra. Your heart chakra is about the emotional exchange. It's about the exchange of emotions. But your sacral chakra is what you feel as you're exchanging emotions. Or this is what you feel in general. Like your sacral chakra is your emotional standpoint. Your sacral chakra is also how you're feeling sensually, or how your sexual energy and your creativity. So like if you're more sensual, then you have a balanced sacral chakra. Like, if people don't think about it, but in real life, if you're less sensual, if you're not really sensual, then that's coming from the sacral chakra. And the same thing with creativity, the creative force, creating a baby, right? Create the creative force that's coming from your sacral chakra as well. Your sacral chakra is your kidneys, your adrenals, your sex organs, and partially your intestines as well. Right, that's your sacral chakra. Moving up to the solar plexus chakra, and the sacral chakra is orange. Solar plexus chakra is yellow. We have crystals like citrine, tiger's eye, yellow calcite. We have all types of different crystals for that. Your solar plexus is more so for your confidence, right? That's more so your confidence, your self-esteem. That's more so where your ego resides, right? How you feel about yourself. And if you're feeling sometimes more shy, you're feeling sometimes like not as confident, that's coming from your solar plexus. If you're feeling like I can do this, like I can do whatever, I can accomplish any task, that's a sign of a healthy solar plexus chakra. Going up to the heart chakra, and I have a whole 7. I have like quizzes for this. I have a lot of content. I have blog posts. If you need more, these are very short. Like I said, these are very short and very, very quick. It's a quick synopsis of the chakras. This is a very, very deep topic. It's actually an Ayurvedic practice in India Ayurveda. There's more than 7 chakras. There's about 259, I think. They're pronounced chakra. Like it's actually pronounced chakra. But I'm saying chakra because I'm not going into Ayurvedic healing. And when someone's going into Ayurvedic healing, then they would start pronouncing it chakra, that the way that it's actually pronounced in India. But I'm just keeping it really short and simple and brief for you guys real quick. And if you, like I said, if you need more content, go to my website. You can go to my blog articles, and you can also go to my app that's on my website, and you can take my 7 chakra quiz, 100% free. I have a free 7 chakra quiz that you can just start taking it, and then you can start learning what the chakras are. Right, you can literally do that, and I have a free 7-day chakra challenge as well. Right, you can take the 7-day chakra challenge, and then you can work on the chakras every single day. Right, or work. You can choose a specific chakra, and to sign up for the challenge, all you have to do is just sign up for my free daily text messages on my website. Send me #growth to that number after you sign up for it, 100% free, and then you sign up from there. You send me #growth, and you'll automatically get a reply. And then it'll show you how to enroll. 100% free. You have nothing to lose. You can take action today. You can really do it right now. You can really do it right now. But let me go back to the heart chakra. The heart chakra, as I said before, it's the chakra of equilibrium. That's one thing. The heart chakra is the chakra of equilibrium. It's also the chakra of your emotional exchange with people. If you're overgiving, right? If you're putting others before yourself, you're damaging your heart chakra. It's a fact. This is a stone cold fact. We think that, oh, I'm giving. Why am I not receiving? You're not receiving because you're overgiving. You need to stop overgiving so you can start receiving. That's a fact. Just spilling the tea out there. But also, if you're undergiving within your relationships, that also damages your heart chakra. So you want to find a balance within your relationships. Are you overgiving or undergiving? Are you trying or are you not trying? And I don't want to say just plain like that, because there's lots of disregard that last part, because trying and not trying, there's lots of different variables. You can be trying and still be undergiving or overgiving, and you can be not trying and still be overgiving. You can be a natural overgiver, and it doesn't take a lot of effort for you to overgive, but you're still overgiving. So I don't want to make that direct correlation. Let's see. What was I saying? So that was the heart chakra. And like I said, your heart chakra, it has to do with empathy as well, love and empathy, and heart chakra is mostly for self-love. Like I don't want to say mostly for it, because it has so many different principles, and I don't want to rank them in order. But yeah, it's about the equilibrium within your relationships, your emotional exchanges, and then your self-love, and then empathy towards others. To keep it very brief, going up, and your heart chakra is green on the crystal on the bracelet. That's for the green aventurine. And green aventurine is also a stone of luck and prosperity. Also, I want to mention this. Most solar plexus and heart chakra stones are abundant stones. Those are prosperity stones. You'll see that that's a common theme. If it's a heart chakra stone, it also taps you into wealth and abundance and prosperity. Same with most solar plexus stones. That's just the frequency that they're on. So moving up to the throat chakra. Your throat chakra is popular for expression. It's popularized at the chakra of expressing your creativity and personality. That's what we often know it as, and that's true. The other side of the throat chakra is your your authenticity. You being authentic. You listening to how you're actually expressing things within yourself, right? Authentic expression. And another side of that is you balancing out the different intellectual sensors that you have within your mind or within your body, because you have your brain, you have your heart, and you have your gut. They all have neurons. Your brain has a lot of neurons. Your heart has way fewer, and then your gut has way fewer still. They have way less than your brain. But they have neurons, which means that they make decisions. They think and make decisions. And when your heart's telling you something, like your heart, that's what like some people say, like listen to your heart, or like listen to your gut, or gut feeling. These are actual centers within your body that have neurons, so you can actually literally listen to your heart. You can literally listen to your gut. Like there's a neural pathway from your heart to your brain that's stronger than the neural pathway from your brain to your heart. So like there's actual scientific evidence behind this, behind the different brains within your body. And thank you guys for the 10K likes. We're at 10K likes here on TikTok, so I appreciate you guys for helping me hit that milestone. Thank you so much for that. Someone says you're so blunt. It's funny. Life is too short. Life is truly too short to be beating around the bush all the time. Life is way too short to be doing that. I think it's great to be gentle and blunt at the same time. It's very possible. You can be caringly blunt, right? It's very possible, and I think we should all do. We should all practice being blunt. I think that's the way to go about things. It saves a lot of time, and it heals a lot of people. Let's see. So let me go back to the throat chakra. So throat chakra, like I was saying, here on what was I saying? So you have the 3 different brains, quote unquote, within your body. I just want to say this: wherever you have neurons, you can call that your brain, and you have neurons all throughout your body. So when we talk about our brain, we don't just point at your head. Your brain is all throughout your body. Your neurons, your nervous system have neurons in it. So like your whole body thinks technically, not just your brain thinks. Your whole body thinks, and lots going on in your spine. But I don't want to make the topic too deep. I just want to keep it short and simple and say, if there's 2 brains that are not communicating well, like I said, throat chakra is good for communicating. It's a communicating chakra. But you have 3 different brains. So if your brains are not communicating with each other, that damages your throat chakra. If your mind's telling you no, and your heart's telling you yes, and you're not finding some coherence, you're not having a conversation, a dialogue between your brain and your heart before you make a decision, that is blocking your throat chakra, because you're being inauthentic to yourself, and you're not allowing yourself to communicate. What's the key to this? The key to this is to slow down, right? Your throat chakra oftentimes can get imbalanced when you keep rushing through things and you keep just making decisions, and you're not allowing your brains to talk to each other and process things and find some true authenticity. Right, we need to slow down and find what is authentic to my whole body right now, what's authentic to my whole being, and then take action off of that. But when I talk about the 7 chakras, I always spend a lot of time on the throat chakra, because the throat chakra is in my opinion the most least understood within all the chakras. It's the most least understood. It's one that people get confused a lot. It was not even confused. It's like they don't see the full picture of it, because everyone just talks about expression. But there's internal expression. That internal expression supersedes the external. I don't want to say supersedes. I don't want to rank them from higher or lower or better or worse or whatever. But internal expression is just as important as the external expression. Let me go back to some of the questions. Oh, my bad. I didn't mention the organs for the organs for the solar plexus. So the solar plexus organs are your stomach and your spleen, and partially your colon, and also your liver and gallbladder, right? Those are your solar plexus organs. And yes, there are some organs that have multiple functions. So like I said, your kidneys are for your sacral chakra and your root chakra. Same with your intestines, your colon. Your colon is for like your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and a little bit of your solar plexus, right? And the same thing with your solar plexus and your spleen. I mean, your spleen and your stomach is for your solar plexus. On the other side, you have your gallbladder, and your liver, and your gallbladder and liver goes towards your solar plexus and your heart chakra, right? Gallbladder and liver goes for that, and your heart chakra. And also for the heart chakra, you have your heart, you have your liver, your gallbladder, and you have your lungs, right? That are going for your heart chakra. And your throat chakra, you have your thymus. You have your thymus, and you have your actual vocal cords and whatnot. And you have like your entire neck, right? Your neck. And I do want to say that partially your nervous system is a part of your throat chakra as well, your nervous system. But that's a deeper topic. We can just stick to your actual throat, your vocal cords, and your thymus for your throat chakra. Moving up to the brow chakra, and your throat chakra is light blue. Moving up to the brow chakra, your brow chakra is dark blue indigo. Let me see. Someone says, "Are you a fire sign?" I can relate to the bluntness. Yes, I'm a fire sign. I'm a Sagittarius. Appreciate you, my boy JP. Thank you guys for tapping the screen. Thank you guys for spamming the likes. We're at 12.4K likes. Let's go ahead and try to run up to 15K likes before we end. Let's run up to 15K likes. Let's see. So, back to the brow chakra. The brow chakra is your chakra of you have two mental faculty chakras. Let me start with that. You have your brow chakra and you have your crown chakra. Anything that affects one of the two mental faculty chakras within the, like I said, the main seven. It's the main seven chakras. If you want to get deeper into the whole system, you want to go into Ayurveda, and then you want to study the chakra system. That's actually how you pronounce it. You actually pronounce it chakra. It's like chakra, but you kind of roll the R, so chakra. There's still different ways to say it. But nevertheless, if you want to go deeper into it, look up the Ayurvedic system, but I'm covering the main seven. I'm covering the main seven. And so within the two mental faculty chakras, within the main seven chakras, the brow and the crown chakra, when you deal with one, you're automatically dealing with the other. They both deal with the brain. They both deal with a lot of your cognitive abilities and your mental activity and whatnot. Also your senses and your knowingness and different stuff within your mind. That's what deals with your brow and your crown chakra. Your brow chakra is more so within cognitive ability. It's more so within cognitive function. It's your critical thinking skills more so. Like how well can you analyze something? How well can you discern from things? How well can you how easy is it for you to like sit and focus? How is it for you to concentrate? Those are all going directly into the brow chakra. That's what the brow chakra is a correlation of. As well, so on the other side of it is intuition. Right, you work in your brow chakra, you work on your intuition. You can also work on your solar plexus for intuition. Right, your solar plexus gives you a lot of intuition as well. But yeah, your brow chakra is keen on intuition and visualization. How well can you see things within your mind? How well can you imagine certain things? Can you imagine sounds? Can you imagine senses? Can you imagine scenarios? Can you imagine feelings? Right? Can you imagine a smell? Can you imagine a taste? Those are all dealing with the brow chakra. Your brow chakra is active. And your brow chakra is synonymous with the third eye, kind of a similar concept. And one key thing to note, your pineal gland is for your crown chakra and brow chakra. Your pineal gland deals with both of them, right? And I would say your pineal gland deals more so with your crown chakra than your brow chakra. The whole thing about your third eye does have to do with your pineal gland, but it's more so associated with your pituitary gland. From my recollection of how things work. But as I say, with everything, do your own research, right? With everything, do your own research. Once you look into the functions of your pineal and pituitary gland, you look at those glands, you'll see that oftentimes the things that we associate with our third eye is actually pituitary gland, and the crown chakra is more so with the pineal gland. So going up to let me see another question. Divine timing. How often do I practice yoga? Probably 4 days a week, minimum. Sometimes I do it every day, but oftentimes 4 days a week. Seven chakras, 7 days of the week, any correlation? Seven is a divine number. That goes into sacred geometry and divine numerology as well. But so going up, and the brow chakra is also helping you to see yourself within other people, right? It's helping you to see we're all one, we're all sharing one energy. Your brow chakra helps you to see that. That's what awakens that. Your crown chakra is your knowingness. Your crown chakra has to do with your memory, has to do with a lot of the stuff I said with your brow chakra. Sorry guys, my nose keeps itching. I know you guys keep seeing me scratch my nose. I don't know what's going on. But your crown chakra has to do with your memory. And has to do with your cognitive function as well, and your knowingness. Your crown chakra is activated as you start doing things that you truly want to do, right? I would like to say your crown chakra is activated when you're in your life purpose, but you're always within your life purpose. You're always on your life purpose. What happens is your life purpose evolves over time, and then you start to resonate with it more, right? So your crown chakra is more active, or it gets activated when you start deeply resonating with what you're going through, deeply resonating with every single thing that's going on in your life, even the good and the bad thing. Once you have that knowingness that, hey, this is here to help me. I know this is challenging for me in the present moment, but this thing is here to help me, and I see the divinity within it. That's something that strengthens the crown chakra. That's, like I said, the crown chakra is a knowingness. But your crown chakra is also the chakra that helps you to connect with your higher self. It helps you to help you get closer to your life purpose and to start to do things that are more genuine to your soul. One thing we have here is we're being disingenuous to our soul. We're not being genuine to our soul when we keep saying yes to things that we want to say no to. Strengthening your no will strengthen your crown chakra. Strengthening your no will strengthen the out on what my curse. Strengthening your no will strengthen your crown chakra, and we need to we need to be doing that. Strengthening our no, so we can get closer to doing the things that we like to do, right? It kind of messes up our guidance system. We have an internal guidance system that guides us naturally to the things that we want to do, right? It guides us naturally, and that's our, like, we can call it our intuition, but there's a sense within us that knows what we want to do. That sense kind of gets thrown off guard. It gets thrown off balance, I should say, when we keep saying yes to things that we want to say no to. That we have an internal sense that works perfectly, or it works well when we only do the things that we want to do. Is it cool to do stuff for charitable acts? Yes, it's awesome. You should still be a cool person. You should still be a nice person, I should say. Still be charitable. But when it comes to things that are truly outside of what you want to do, you truly don't want to do it, then the best bet for you and all of those around you is to not do the thing. It's not do it. Don't do what's not in alignment with you. But those are the 7 chakras. Those are the 7 chakras. Right? Those are the 7 chakras. If you have any questions from there, let me know. I think I answered all the questions. Let me scroll back up. I think I answered most of them. Let's see. And as I said, the most important thing, going back to the crystals, the most important thing is to set your intentions with the crystal. Set your intentions with them. Because working with crystals, there can be so many things, right? There can be so many things that you're trying to get from the crystal, that you're trying to get from life or whatever. And what we need to do is we always need to be strengthening our intentions. You guys hear me say, trying to get a control of reality, you want to get control over a routine, and you want to set your intention for the day as soon as possible, right? So like every single day, you should be setting your intention. Every single time you meditate, you should be setting your intention. Every time you go out into journal, you should be setting your intention. The same thing with crystals. When you're working crystals, you should be setting your intention. And know that the most important part of the whole routine, or the most important part of the whole thing of dealing with crystals, is going to be your intentions. It's going to be what you intend to get from it. What's your mind, and what communications is happening between your mind and the crystal, and your aura, your energy in the crystal. That's allowing you to transfer your energy to it and say, like, hey, I'm trying to get this energy. This is the energy I'm programming you with. You can store the energy, you're talking to the crystal. And then this is the energy I'm expecting to get back. This is the energy that I'm trying to get back. This is the energy that I'm intending to get back. Thank you guys for joining. Someone says, did I talk about life paths already? I talked about like life purpose to a degree. Life path, however, I'm not into numerology. So like when it comes to life path numbers, I'm not into that. I mean, like I believe into it to a degree. I just don't know the sciences behind that. I don't know the science behind numerology, so I don't really know about life path like that. And I don't talk about that type of life path. But life purpose, however, life purpose, like people talk about the life purpose and stressing it, but like your life purpose is something you take and you run with it. Like you take the things that you enjoy doing now, things that give your soul joy, that bring joy into your soul, do those things. And then that's going to be your life purpose for the time being. And then over time, you're going to get closer and closer and closer to things that you resonate more with, and you're going to feel more in alignment. But you're already on your life purpose. You've been doing what you were called here to do your whole life. You can't stray out of your life purpose, right? So that's that. And someone said, what's the good way to go about it? So when you're programming your crystals, what you want to do is you want to have the crystal in your hand. Maybe you want to have it in your right hand, because your left hand is going to be more so for receiving, receptivity. Your right hand is going to be more so for projecting. But it varies for different people. Some people, their left hand's more so for projecting, and sometimes their left hand's for receiving. So it's person to person, but on average, the right hand's for projecting. So within that, you want to hold the crystal in your hand. You want to have your intention there. So like, what do you seek to gain? What do you seek to experience with the crystal? What are some what are some feelings, some vibes of some things you're trying to learn, some life lessons you want to learn from the crystal? And then you also want to conjure up some good emotion within yourself and transfer that into the crystal as well. And that's you setting your intention, and that's you charging the crystal with your intent. And that's going to then give you that energy over time. It's going to give that energy back to you over time. And that's a relationship you build with the crystal. The crystal, or in any like rock object. It works with rocks too, right? People talk about having a rock collection when you're younger. Yeah, because like the same thing crystals do, rocks do as well. It's just crystals have a more crystalline molecular structure, so they hold energy better on average. But yes, the normal everyday rocks you find outside, you can still do the crystal work. You can still do the work of charging with your intentions. The rock from outside is going to hold your intentions. It's not just a crystal thing. It's all rocks do it. It's just crystals kind of do it better because they have a more refined molecular structure. So refined that you can see it. Like so refined you can see with your naked eye. With a rock, you can't see it that well. But I do want to point that out. Have you ever had an inclination to rocks when you were younger? It's not just a coincidence. Like that's an actual thing. But yeah, as I was saying, you want to get your crystals and you want to program the crystals. Program your crystals. That's how you get the most out of the practice. Right? That's the live for today. I'll catch you guys later. Oh, like I said, for the challenge. I've been doing this challenge. I think I've been doing this challenge ever since December started. Right? Get the gallon of water and drink it today. Have you been in this live? If you've been in this live this month, you've heard me tell you this challenge. Have you been taking action on it? We always talk about cleansing yourself. Marcus, what's a good way to cleanse myself? How do you cleanse yourself? How do you do cleansing? Cleanse yourself with a gallon of water. Just drink water. I shouldn't say just drink water, but try your best to drink a gallon of water. It's literally going to cleanse your energy from the inside out. It's going to cleanse your actual organs, your intestines. Your intestines need water right now. Your lymphatic system would love some water. Right? It'll pass out so much negative energy if you give it the water. JP says, do you like coconut water also? Yes, cocoa water is awesome. Cocoa water is awesome. Coconut water. Because coconut water has a lot of electrolytes. It has some other minerals in it as well. Oh my God, someone said it. Yes, spring water specifically. Please drink the spring water. If there's any type of water that's going to be the best for you, it's spring water on average. And I would suggest whatever spring is closest to you, whatever spring or well is closest to you, maybe get it tested or like ask around is the ask around is the water good? Ask maybe the city, has the water been tested, and then get water from that spring or that well. Most likely you have a spring or a well that's close to you. You probably have one. I have large ass gallons. I don't want to go off to myself, but I go into my trip. I go take the trip. It's like a 15-minute trip for me. I go get the water. I store it in my house, and I drink only the spring water. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, spring water, and that's the thing. Spring water. So like all the different types of water are like literally refined tap water. Distilled water is refined tap water. It's tap water. That has corporate water energy. That's the best way I can say it. That's like corporate water. That's like water from like the municipal system. That has no spirit. That has no soul in it. Spring water comes from the earth. It's like has not gone through a whole crazy filtration system. The spring water comes like from a natural flowing water that like happens under. So where does the water come from? So different springs come from different places. There's actual water like under the soil. That may sound crazy if you didn't know that's how it works. But like just think of like there's rivers on top of the soil, right? That's the rivers that we see. There's also like bodies of waters and rivers that are under the soil, right? Then it's pristine water. It's very clean water. And so that water itself has soul in it. That has a different energy than tap water. So that's why we say spring water. Spring water also has some natural elements in it. It has some natural minerals that are good for you. And tap water often, it takes away it starts to drain your minerals, right? You have minerals in you that you need to stay healthy. And if the water you're drinking does not have minerals in it, then it robs minerals from you. This may sound weird, but that's just how it works, right? Tap water doesn't have minerals in it. If you drink tap water, it's going to take minerals from your body. So that's why we drink a gallon of spring water a day specifically. Right. Thank you. And yes, someone said spring is our new year. Yes, spring. Spring is like the new year within an energetic sense. This is the new year within the Gregorian calendar. Like what we call January the new year. That's in the Gregorian calendar. But wherever you are, wherever spring is the new year, right? Spring is the new year because that's where the energetic cycle resets. Things start growing and stuff. So that's that. You said, do I know the different colors mean? I associate the different colors with the different chakras. So you can go to my website. And thank you guys for the 20K likes. Thank you guys for the 20K likes. You can go to my website and then go to my blog articles about the chakras, and then you can correlate the chakras with the colors. Right? Well, much love. Thank you guys for joining. Like I said, if you have not checked out my website, go ahead and check that out. I have some of the best jewelry that you've ever seen, the best crystal jewelry you've ever seen, you've ever laid eyes on. We make most of our jewelry ourselves. The gold and silver stuff we don't really make, but most of the copper jewelry, the copper necklaces specifically, we make those, right? So go ahead and check those out, place an order. And like I said, when you get your crystals, set your intentions with the crystals. Charge it with your own energy immediately. Before anyone else touches it, before anyone else sees them, when you get the crystal, we cleanse and charge everything we sell. We cleanse and charge everything we sell. So it's already been cleansed and charged, right? So you can still cleanse it and charge it when you want to. You can still do that. But once you get it out the package, set your intentions then and there. In that moment where you're just getting united with your stuff, set your intentions. Build that relationship from the jump. All right? But much love. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Like I said, get your gallon in today. And if you have not signed up for my free daily text messages, what are you missing out on? I have a free daily text message. If you enjoy this wisdom and insight that I give out, imagine getting it through a text message system.